You hear me now?
Yes, hello and welcome. We are very sorry we've had a few issues with the stream, but we are here 14 minutes to go in the session for round 15 of season 15, the Singapore Grand Prix live from the night skies of Singapore. This glamorous city under the floodlights is one of 3 races that are held at night, the other 2 being Bahrain and Abu Dhabi. We're here in Singapore for the start of the flyaway season between Asia and the Americas. We're here, a track not liked by many of the drivers, but it has had some incredible battles in STB. One notable one where Murdy Smurd, the Season 2 champion, went around the outside of this very corner here on Sync Buckley to take the lead away from Side Effects 99 on the final lap. That will always be in the Hall of Fame sort of record book for STB, because that was such an iconic moment. You join me, STB Mardy, for another race this season, and it's been very... could we get Cody back in? You join me once again, and as you would have just heard, I'm joined by Rigsy X here for another time. So, Rigsy, sorry, I'm just going to get Cody back in. But what are your expectations ahead of this Singapore Grand Prix?
Firstly, I just want to say it's great to be back here once again for another race in the STB Racing League here in Singapore. I don't have too much in terms of expectation. I just don't want it to be a procession. I do want some racing in there somewhere. But Singapore, unfortunately, doesn't really offer too much in that. You do have your 2 DRS zones on the pit straight and on the run down to turn 5, where I do feel we'll see most of the action in the race. And there is the straight, just like it's not a DRS straight, but it's just after the Anderson Bridge. There's a big straight there. I feel like on the run up to the corner at the end of that will be another main action point. But most of the track, you'll just be seeing lines of cars just following each other through the tight corners. But no, not really too much, Maldi. The track doesn't offer too much, but it does definitely require a lot of concentration, because it is very easy just to slip up, take too much of the curb and light up the rear. And the walls are they're very close to the track as well, so it's very easy to pick up some damage if you're not too careful with that.
Definitely, Rigsy. Of course, Singapore is obviously a night race. Of course, the tyres can be much colder than they would be in other races, but that isn't actually the case, because Singapore is a very hot country, slap bang in the middle of Southeast Asia. What can we expect from the strategy in terms of the temperature? How is that going to affect the drivers here this evening? It actually will be literally this evening.
Due to Singapore's geographical location, you're saying, it is going to cause a problem for the tyres and the carcass of the tyres as well, because due to the heat as well, that's going to obviously have an effect on the tarmac that the drivers are going to be racing on. So tyre temperatures will probably be soaring a bit higher than they are at other tracks in the world. So tyre issues and tyre degradation will definitely be an issue. Strategy is going to be crucial as well, because the undercut here is quite powerful as well. So if you're stuck in any kind of traffic, and you're just alright, I'm going to pit the now. You can gain, on fresh rubber, you can gain up to a second, roughly about a second and a half, on the drivers in front, because once the tyres go here, they definitely go, and it is just going to be, if you do outrun your tyre, you'll just be crawling back to the pits as well. So you will lose time if you don't get the strategy right.
Definitely. So, Rigsy, we'll just talk more about the history of Singapore, because that is something which I'm quite interested about. Of course, we've had a lot of controversial moments in history of the Singapore Grand Prix, as Churka goes up in the P1 then 136.8. But we've got Hamjam 2002 in the party, my old teammate, of course, when I was a driver in the league. What great times that were. As Mex Stalo, all the way from Chile, of course, Rigsy here, goes into P number 1. Of course, he's on a fresher compound, fresher and a softer compound. But we've got Hamjam in here, as I said, my old teammate. Hamjam will include audio. We'll give you a quick interview, as we know, longest track on the calendar. and you need the most time out on track. This, as I said, is of course the longest track on the calendar. What are you doing compared to other circuits to really be, grilled up and ready for the Singapore Grand Prix? Definitely. You've actually had some very decent performances so far this season, actually. What has been your highlight of the season so far? This next question may cause a bit of a rift in the we'll call it the Ham household, the Jam Ham household. How is the rivalry going with your brother, of course, Jam Ham? How is that going for you at the moment? Definitely. Okay. As Alphabal then explains into the pits lane. Rigsy, quickly, any questions that you've got for Ham Jam here this evening?
What is you and the team expecting over the course of this race weekend in Singapore? No worries, I've got nothing else further to add there. We'll let you get back to your qualifying session here in Singapore, and we'll wish you the best of luck for the race.
So, Rigsy, I've just got a question actually coming. I think it was outside the corner that Fusion it went round. The Nassim PK Renault scandal in 2008. What was your view on that? Quite an iconic moment in terms of Singapore in Formula One.
The Crashgate scandal.
Yeah.
I mean, it was nobody really thought too much of it at the time. Also, you'll know yourself, Nelson Piquet Jr. was apparently allegedly told by his team to bin the car essentially because Fernando Alonso would take an advantage under the safety car because he had just pitted before. He did eventually go on to win the race, but it wasn't revealed until the 2009 Singapore race when it was announced that they were actually using team orders to have a kind of conflict the race result at the end and have an influence in that. Obviously, it was a big scandal at the time. I mean, Formula One had to clamp down on Renault, their main title sponsor ING. I think that was their main banking sponsor at the time. They immediately just withdrew their relationship and ended that way immediate effect. It did also kind of tarnish the reputation of Renault and Fernando Alonso quite significantly as well. Now, Alonso is kind of looked at for that moment rather than his two championships or his overall racing quality and racing ability. Nelson Piquet Jr. did disappear for a bit shortly after that, but we did see him in Formula E, which I think he's just recently left. But no, Singapore does hold that true. It has its controversial moments at times as well. But no, that definitely did have a big impact on the sport and definitely how it was having to progress for that.
Okay, Dominic here is more than a second up. I can't remember what it was. I think it was like 1.1 seconds up on his personal best. Of course, that was set on hards. Now he's on mediums, Rigsy. But our prediction is Dominic has got a big opportunity here to get some good points over Eke, his main championship contender, because he is currently, I believe, 5th in the time trial leaderboard. So he's the quickest guy in the league around Singapore, if you look at that. So it's going to be very interesting. But let's see if he's going to beat Max Stalo then for the provisional pole position. He does by a good 1.1 seconds. That is an insane lap time there. Churka's a second up. Both Hungarian drivers doing quite well here in the Toro Rosso and McLaren.
Definitely. Like, it's good to see them that high up on the field. We've still got just short of 4 minutes left in the session here at Singapore. Dominic and Max Stalo as the only drivers to set a time on the medium tyres, and Churka goes to improve his time there. He's 2:10 shy of the pole time at the minute. So we're starting to kind of see a trend here. We're starting to see the majority of the drivers opting to start on the harder compounded tyre, which will probably play into the discussion we had earlier about the tyre temperatures and the degradation and how that has an effect on there as well. And plus it also kind of shows us as well that drivers and teams are opting and they're more comfortable running a high fuel, harder tyre kind of compound strategy at the start and let that burn away and let themselves get quicker as the race progresses, and they'll be at their quickest in the final laps of the race when it really matters.
Okay then, Riggsy, let's have a look at Urban Unicorn then, currently in P7, but he's going to go on to a lap now, Riggsy. Let's ride on board with him. And let's take it. Oh no, he was on a lap already and he's gone P1. Wow, there you go, P1 there for Urban Unicorn. 35 dead there, Riggsy. Urban Unicorn has been on pace the last few weeks.
Definitely. He's definitely making a name for himself. Urban Unicorn is, he's went fastest there. He's looking to, I mean, he is kind of looking to win the championship. He is up on he's in the top 3, so he is definitely in contention for the new. So he is going to try and continue and build on his confidence. He's already got for his previous wins in the last few races as well, and try and build on the momentum that he's got to try and instigate an actual challenge to Eke, who has been running away, not like running away with it per se.
Well, we've got some Rebel team orders here. Gravity giving Eke a slipstream down the straight. Some 4 attempts up on his first sector, that could be. Are team orders banned in Formula 1 now?
I mean, I don't think they are. I mean, like, team orders is always like, I mean, like, at the end of the day, Formula 1 is a team sport. Like, it is just, like, I mean, like, sure the drivers get all the credit in that, but I mean, you can have to give the credit to the team where it really matters. I mean, the team really just built for the team. But I mean, I don't really know. I mean, like, I definitely do know that team orders only really banned. They are frowned upon, but they're not banned.
I was going to say, there could be some cheeky investigations going on. 1.2 seconds up then, and Matty's binned it in the wall, it looks like, and that's the yellow flag in sector 2 and 3 there. So Eke there has been, what's the word, slowed down really for that, and he's got Alpa Bao in front of him. That's a bit of impeding action there from the Ferrari. Currently in 9th. I don't know why it took me so long to find that then. Okay, then around the final corner, it's going to be a pretty interesting lap time, Riggsy, but what is it going to be? It's going to be a 35.477, so he's going to go into P4 there. 4 attempts up in the top 4, so that's good.
And we're starting to see people coming out on the medium tyres. The soft tyres are kind of being disregarded in this sense. Like, I don't think teams see any benefit or real interest in using the red compound tyre here in Singapore. And I'd quite frankly, I'd agree with that, because I feel like the soft tyres would even last 5, 6, 7 laps tops. When it's a 31 lap race, you kind of want to benefit for the longevity of your tyres and their strategy. So you kind of want to go on long runs. The soft tyres would maybe be like if you kind of had an accident or you were in no man's land in the last 5 or 6 laps and just wanted the extra point. I think that would only be soft tyres' real use for this race here in Singapore. But the checkered flag is out for the session. Urban Unicorn
Mercury's 1.1 seconds off.
Mercury, where are we? I'm trying to think. Mercury is up by 1.1 as he's coming into the last sector. The new, it's a very tight last sector. Malday, like, it's just a right, left, right, left, and it's like a quick double left to finish off the lap. But I mean, there is reports of them wanting to change that bit of the track, but I'll probably cover that on the build up to the formation lap while we watch the remaining runners put in their final lap times. Mercury goes P8 with that time there by 1:36.086 there as
Fusion's
well.
did hit the wall there. Fusion's really struggling on his lap. Sorry, Riggsy. He's made a big mistake in the second sector. He did say before the race that he was not feeling the Singapore track. It's just not a track that he enjoys. So, yeah, EKP4 there. Now, what would be really interesting, Riggsy, is maybe a repeat of 2018, was it? Singapore? In the wet?
In the wet, in the Singapore, the 2017 race was the one in the wet. I mean, Ferrari kind of ruined themselves after the starting line there.
Yeah, definitely. And Dominic there goes into P number 1 with 34.9. He goes the only driver to set a 1:34, and Fusion now, he goes P5, 35.5 there for the Renault driver. Jamham is down. Look at Johan. Johan's into the pit lane. So there you go, Riggs. It looks like that is the grid for the Singapore Grand Prix.
Dominic just anywhere in the last run there. Put yourself on pole, first man into the 1:34s of the session. I'm really liking the look of that front row, to be fair. And Eki's just slotting his cell in there, right behind Urban Unicorn there in P4. Churka's having another great run in here, up into third. Renault third row. The Ham brothers on the fourth. Gravity P9 and the Red Bull and Mercury rounds out your top 10. They will all be starting on the tiles they qualified in, and before the leaderboard went away from me there, I did think they were all starting on the mediums. But no, I'm just getting a wee image of the Ferrari garage there before this final results come up. So there we go, the top 10 stick on medium tyres. That is the mandatory tyre they'll be starting on for this race. Dominic is the pole sitter for this race weekend here in Singapore at the Marina Bay Circuit. Urban Unicorn on the front row as we were covering there. Any kind of standout performances there, Maldi? I mean, the Ferrari's not having a good showing there again.
Dominic absolutely showing his pace and his supreme talent around this Singapore circuit, and it's definitely going to be important for him to get as many points over Eke as possible. But Riggsy, I'm going to let you now talk about the proposed change to the final sector of Singapore while I quickly go and do something, and then we can jump into the formation lap.
So I was going to cover it there, but when the checker flag waved, in the last sector, the Singapore circuit, like obviously you can cross the second third sector delta line just on the straight after the Anderson Bridge. It wouldn't really change all that much, but see in the sector where you would go right and left onto the waterfront, which would be on your right, and then you go the left under the big main stand there, you wouldn't be doing that. You wouldn't be going under the left and then the right and then going behind it. It would just be a continual straight, and then it'll cut out the left, right, left bit that takes you under the main stand there. It would just shut that bit off, build more of the main stand onto that, and it would just be the right, left, onto the waterfront bit on the right. You'll have the water onto your right, you don't really see it obviously because it's pitch black, but it would be the right, left, onto that straight, and it would just take you on a big straight, down to the double left, into the final two corners, and that would end the lap. So I'm kind of anticipating, I'm hoping for a clean start. I mean, it really is quite a big ask, especially since Singapore. I mean, like the first couple of corners is very tight and sequential, because they come at you thick and fast, and the track is narrow as it is. But I mean, the drivers do have enough quality in them to make sure that their cars don't pick up any damage. So I'm hoping that it is a clean and quick getaway for all the drivers involved. But we are on the formation lap. Dominic does lead the pack so far. Not too much really to tell. This is the starting grid for the Singapore GP race in the STB League Season 15 race. Singapore. But a quick fact, it depends how you look at it, but in the real life Formula 1, the Singapore GP has a 100% safety car appearance rating, but whether the game actually has a safety car. It has a safety. Every race at Singapore in real life has always seen a safety car. But another fact,
sure every race in STB has seen a safety car as well at Singapore.
I definitely. I mean, like as a race where you'd nicely see one. I mean, the stats don't really lie there as well. But at the same time, like the Formula One 2019 game likes to kind of keep the safety car in the pit lane, regardless of any incident that may occur. I mean, I'm hoping for a clean and quick race for the 17 drivers here. But another
31 laps, Riggsy.
it's definitely going to be a
Longest race
test
of the
endurance.
season.
It's the longest race here in the Formula One calendar as well, but it's also the race. It's one of the only calendar races in real life Formula One that's only been won by a world champion. Well, 2016 has some flexibility about it because Nico Rosberg was the champion at the time, but he did go on to win the championship. So it depends how you interpret that statistic as well. I mean, I would say it was won by every champion. This race has always been won by a Formula One world champion as well, but none of those drivers will be here to win. It'll be a matter of who wins out of this grid of 17. Dominic in pole position, Urban Unicorn lining up on the right side, and I'll let you take it away as we see Matty and Mali joining the
Marley
rear.
then on a set of hards, Matt on a set of hards. So a lot of the drivers are on hards, the ones that are out. Every single driver which is outside the top 10 is on hards at the moment. It's going to be an incredible Singapore GP, but it is going to be 3 lights on the gantry, it's 4 lights on the gantry, it is 5 lights on that red light gantry. It starts down the way, they go for around 15. What a start there from the Alfa Romeo. No sort of rain here as like 2017. It's going to be a close turn one. Now we've got the Renault off the circuit. A lot of drivers off the circuit there nearly. But Fusion here around the outside of Eke, and now it's going to be absolute concertina effect now as they come down. I believe this is turn number 3. We've got the McLaren, we've got the 2 Renaults battling 5 and 6. So it's going to be all about slipstream down this straight, Riggsy. What are you seeing around the field? It's a pretty clean start from what I can see.
Aye, everybody seems to have made it through the first sequence of corners.
Urban Unicorn, somehow Urban Unicorn has got the lead of the Singapore Grand Prix, and Hamilton 2002 is coming around the inside now of LRS Mercury. It's going to be side by side through this Sector 2 section, and Mercury there, a bit of contact. You've got the Mech Stalo now on the inside. This is going to be very tight here in Singapore. Mercury there on the defensive manoeuvre there. Sorry to interrupt you, Riggsy, but great action going on here in Singapore. You got the Red Bull now of Gravity. Over to you, Riggsy.
Urban Unicorn managed to get the lead at turn 3. He did get his and Dominic's starts were very similar as well, but Urban Unicorn had the inside line. He got a clean enough getaway to get up the inside of Dominic at turn 1, and he's had the lead since turn 3. But I mean, the Mercedes does lead here in Singapore. Dominic is close behind, but there is already a small gap forming between Churka and Dominic there, between second and third. I don't know if that's maybe a bit of foreshadowing there on what's to come. But Churka doesn't really seem to have the pace on the first lap, but I mean, we'll give him time to get himself familiarised with the circuit and the racing conditions as well. Eke there as well in P4, he didn't gain or lose any places. Reynolds still in the 5th and 6th. Hamjam lost a place there off the start as well to Gravity, who gained. And the biggest loser out of the starting lap there was Johan in the Ferrari. He's went from P12 down to P15 there, but Ferrari languishing about at the back again when you really kind of want them in fighting for points and even the win. So it is just an uphill challenge for here for Ferrari and for Matty and Mali there as well at the back, who didn't really gain too much there either. But no, we are starting to kind of see the top 2 just kind of edging away a wee bit, but Urban Unicorn's managing to get himself just out the DRS point of Dominic here. Now it is 1.035 for what I can see on the leaderboard. It does jump in between 9/10 and a full second, but Churka hasn't really got the pace here now. But I mean, it is only lap 2, and we will give the drivers the benefit of the doubt, and we'll see how the race pans itself out in the next couple of laps, and we'll see what happens, and we'll take it from there.
Fusion then making ground on Echo Rig, so he's in P5 at the moment, but he's really really hammering himself onto Eke at the moment, who's in currently P number 4. As you said, Riggsy, we need to give the drivers benefit of the doubt. Of course, they've got high fuel at the moment. Singapore is a very difficult track for that, so we've got to make sure that we are respectful to these drivers, because they've practiced hard and they know the challenges of Singapore, but it's all about.
No, definitely. Definitely, like teams and drivers put in monumental amount of effort into getting the setup right, into getting the strategy right, into keeping the car out the wall. I mean, 31 laps to keep the car out the wall at Singapore is a big challenge in itself, because the walls are always they're ready to punish folk who make the slightest mistake, and that can be a lock-up, that can be taking too much curb, that can even be trying to avoid any incident that they're not even part of. It's outside of their control, and they could still end up being penalised just for avoiding action. So it really is a crucial and punishing circuit for the drivers, and they need to put in as much effort as they do any other track to get that right and to nail every apex, every turn, every throttle input, every braking input, in the strategy, in the setup. Everything needs to be perfect for Singapore.
I think, Rigsy, the drivers are actually really struggling to get past one another. I've seen Fusion the last few laps. He's been really struggling on the back of Eke. But it's just a queue at the moment.
Definitely, and I do feel like this is going to be the main theme of this race. Like, the track is very narrow, so I feel like it doesn't really promote wheel-to-wheel racing as much. This promotes more of a strategic approach. Like, and the teams are going to be sitting here, the drivers are going to be sitting here, giving feedback back to the teams to say, alright, the tyres are not working, the tyres are overheating in this traffic, try an undercut, or they'll try an overcut. I mean, strategy is really going to be key here in terms of position progression, because I do feel that there will be a significant, I mean, I'm not one to try and shut the race down in the first 4 laps of the race, but I don't really see too much promise. Wheel-to-wheel racing like we had at Monza or Spa or Hockenheim, this track just doesn't have that characteristic in it. It has the strategic approach, and the drivers and the teams need to get that right if they want to gain. I mean, overtaking is still a possibility, but it's just...
Well, let's not speak too soon, sorry, Rixie, because we've got, we've got a little cheeky battle commencing here at the moment. First, oh, well, no, we haven't, because Dominic there on the Swiftly Park second, he spins off. I just said he caught well up to Urban there, but there you go. Spins out of that corner, and that didn't do him any good. I can't speak this evening.
I'm getting the first 4 laps, right? I mean, as was too early to tell. We will give the drivers the benefit of the doubt. I mean, I don't want to go and sit and demoralise the drivers in any way, because that's just unprofessional. But I mean, it is really difficult to get. It is really difficult to drive around Singapore. It's really difficult to race a Formula 1 car in general. So I've got like monumental praise for these drivers as well. But I'm just going to point out, it is still on lap 4. There is still 27 laps to race. But I'm already starting to see a wee key theme here, in a reference to the 2010 Singapore GP race, when it was just Fernando Alonso and Sebastian Vettel out front, and it was they were the leading 2 for the full race, pitted at the same time, and they crossed the line with not even a second apart, and that was the full 62 lap duration in the 2010 Singapore race. And I'm starting to kind of see that here as well, but I'm just kind of hoping it doesn't go down that way, because I do want to see more drivers trying to get themselves involved for the battle for the win and show their hunger in terms of actually trying to shut this gap down. I mean, Sharko has a 1.9 second gap to Dominic already. He's well without the DRS zone, but he's no anywhere near closing that gap, and it is extending every lap.
He's really struggling as well, Riggsy, to be completely honest. He's actually really struggling, it looks like.
And crucially, this is holding Eke up, and this is pushing him into Toxic Fusion, who's getting pushed into Buckley, and then there's a wee gap again to the Mercedes and P7. So it's a Constantine effect. It just kind of pushes the pack together, because one driver at the front's slower. But
drivers are picking up penalties as well. They need to be more careful. This has actually felt like the Italian Grand Prix already. Can I just say, this race is so long, it's already felt like the Italian Grand Prix.
Definitely, I'm starting to see a few kind of references to that as well. There as well, Maldi. But I mean, the race itself, it's still in its kind of early stages here. I mean, the pit window will kind of open in about another 6, 7, 8 laps. I mean, I'm not actually too glued up on the strategy, but I mean, the drivers and the teams will have more intel than what we do here in the gantry.
I think
so,
what it is, Rigsy going to be is, I heard quite a lot of people talking in the pre-race party, because a few drivers jumping in the party doing it practice, and they were saying that it's going to be a medium to hard race. So it's going to be really important to get the mediums as far into the race as possible, and then get on a set of hards and go to the end. So it's a pretty straightforward strategy. As Dominic here, we've got some action going on right here. Rigsy, as Dominic there runs out of road, and he's looking quick, of course. Quickest driver in the league around Singapore. He's looking quick here on the streets. But Urban Unicorn is definitely going to defend. And if Urban Unicorn, Rigsy, defends here, this could give an incredible opportunity to Churka to catch up and then reel in Eke. So, you know, anything can happen. This could still be a decent battle for
no, definitely.
For the podium positions here, and you know, even first to sixth, because I don't think Urban Unicorn is going to give up this position as easily as some might think.
No, definitely. Like, I mean, in the position of Churka, who's sitting here in third, who knows he's not really closing the gap as much as he'd like to, he's kind of thinking he'll want to see the top two battling it out for the win. And that allows them to slow themselves down and he can gain time on them two while they're battling away, because when you're battling you're losing a few tenths every corner that you go through side by side, or when you're trying to anticipate somebody making a move or defending a move or whatever, you always put yourself on the back foot. As we've seen Dominic covering another wee cheeky look there on the inside of turn 1, but he sneaks back into the slipstream in Urban Unicorn's line there into turn 1 and 2. But as I was saying, Churka is kind of hoping that the front two...
Unicorn needs an incredible exit, and he's not had that.
And Dominic's got the DRS flap open. He'll need to go left if he's want to defend, which he does. He's making Dominic go the long way round the turn 5. They're going to go side by side through turn 5. Urban Unicorn maintains the lead, but will Dominic have the inside? Which
this is the line. This is the line. This is the line that the drivers need to go through. That is the line. That is the line around the outside of that corner. That is the right line. That is the quickest line. So great defending there from Urban Unicorn.
Great drive and great battle in there between the two leaders here in the Singapore GP. We are on lap 7 of 31 here in Singapore, and as we were saying, we're starting to see this gap between Dominic and Churka slowly coming in. It's 2.1 the new. It was kind of sitting, it still kind of is in the 2-second buffer, but we are seeing them closing in and taking the chances. I mean, like, Churka has a front seat view of this leading battle, but he's going to say to himself, I want them to fight a wee bit more so I can get my cell into it. But when he brings his cell into it, he's going to bring Eke into it, and he's going to bring the two Reynolds with him. It could be a battle. It could be a battle between first and second. Could soon be a battle between first and sixth.
I think Rigsy, Dominic is much stronger than Urban Unicorn in the third sector. It's all about the defensive display that Urban Unicorn can pull off here to keep the victory. But is he going to keep it for long? Because Urban Unicorn is going to have to defend hard. He's lost an end plate. Urban Unicorn has lost an end plate here.
Is it on the front? Oh, he's lost his front left. He's lost the front left of his end plate on the front wing. I can't see it on his car. And Dominic is going to be up on the inside, soon to be outside of turn 6. Is he enough in front? And Dominic takes the lead here in Singapore. But as you were saying, Maldi, there, I did feel like Urban Unicorn was kind of holding Dominic up.
Fusion on Eke as well. Fusion's done it.
Oh, and Eke's finding himself in between a Renault sandwich there. He's got Toxic Fusion in front and Buckley behind. Eke is in P5.
We've got some batting going on here. We've got the Mercedes, the Alfa Romeo and the Toro Rosso. Mercury's getting involved in a bit of action here.
And when we're sitting focused on one battle, another one forms. Battle for P7 is starting to heat up. You've got Gravity there on P7 in the red.
Oh, Mercury's up the inside. Mercury's up the inside. He tried for the move there. He couldn't do it. It's too of a tight corner. And there you go. Mercury couldn't get the position done, but that is decent. Is Mercury now going to go around the outside
side
here?
By side.
Oh,
side by side.
Bit of contact.
Side by side. The Alpha will have the inside.
You don't expect this in Singapore. Around the outside goes Mercury. What a move.
Brave move there.
No messing about from the Brit. No messing around there up in the P9.
Brave move there by the Toro Rosso driver. He puts himself up to P9 there, and Hamjam loses out. I mean, brilliant battle to go side by side through. I'm not going to try and name the turns or try and count how many turns they are because it is simply too many in Singapore. But I mean, it was a good battle there through the start of the third sector there as well, Muddy. A place where you wouldn't really see a battle because the third sector is the tightest, and we're seeing drivers going side by side. It's amazing. It really is. It's truly like wow. Like how is this happening? But I mean, lap 9 of 51. I mean, maybe our predictions for Singapore being a dull race in terms of actual wheel-to-wheel combat is just getting chucked right out the window now. Like because we've seen them go side by side again. This time it is still Mercury and Ham Jam there. Sorry, my apologies. I get them two mixed up because their names are very similar. But no, I mean. But see, that's Dominic. He's got the lead. Just what I point out, Dominic has got the lead, but he's not putting away for Urban Unicorn. Like, and then when Urban Unicorn was leading, he was the putting away for Dominic. And Churka's no pulling them in. If anything, he's gapping. I mean, not in fact, I'm maybe right there. Dominic Churka is in DRS range, Urban Unicorn, but Urban Unicorn crucially isn't in DRS range of Dominic. And then Toxic Fusion is struggling to keep up with Churka, who's 1.4 seconds ahead of him, and is just gone backwards. Well, I mean, gone backwards. He's only lost one place this full race because he's started P4 and he's in P5 after 9 laps. Oh, but we need to wait and see how the strategy unfolds.
So this is actually crucial for the championship. If Eke and Buckley's in,
Buckley is the first to blink here in Singapore.
Undercut here.
I think, and the Red Bull of Gravity's in as well. And Mercury's in, Ham Jam's in, Alfa Romeo, Toro Rosso, Red Bull and Renault all in the pit lane at work, getting the tyres changed onto the hards, I would assume. As you were saying, now the drivers were discussing the strategy. Well, briefly to us, I mean, they weren't trying to give too much away, but they were all in a consensus that it was the medium to hard one-stop strategy, but they didn't tell us in terms of when they were pitting. What kind of fact, other than what other factors would kind of come into play with that, but no, I think we're in the kind of pit window kind of time here as well. I mean, like 21 laps on the hards. I mean, it does some management, but we'll see how the race unfolds in the laps to come. But we'll really need to watch and see how much they gain, if they gain any at all. I mean, like I feel like as I was saying in the qualifying, I think the undercut is quite strong here because fresh rubber.
Yeah.
Because fresh rubber and clear air, and plus Singapore has a long lap as well, so I mean like drivers will lose out if they're on one rubber as well. So we'll need to see how that unfolds. I wouldn't be too surprised if I've seen the likes of Toxic Fusion and Eke coming in there to try and cover off Buckley there as well, who pitted from from P6. But Churka, as I was saying, I was sitting here saying he wasn't putting the time in, he wasn't pitting his car to, like, no, pitting his car to good use, but he wasn't getting the best out of his car there. But he's right on the back of Urban Unicorn here. But I mean, they're all coming into the pits here just now. Everybody is coming in.
Eke's in.
Everybody.
This could be some. What's the word? Danger for waiting in the pit lane, waiting for people to come out. So that could be a big danger. Yeah, Fusion's been stalled.
And Buckley's coming through the third to last corner. He's coming through the double left on the last two pit entries to his left. He's coming round to start lap 11 of 31, my apologies. Everybody else coming out the pits. And Buckley is coming round turn 1 here. You'll see the Mercedes Urban Unicorn on the left. And Buckley's jumped Urban Unicorn. Churka's jumped Urban Unicorn. Urban Unicorn there in the Mercedes has lost out to not only Churka, who was in P3 and right on his rear wing, but he's lost out to Buckley, who was sitting in P6. And he finds himself in a net P3. Jamham is still out. Mick Stallo is still out. Cody's still out.
He looks
Mali's
pretty quick as well, actually. He had DRS. That's going to help him stay close to Churka here. You know, Buckley, great strategy move there from I'm about to say Ferrari. Then he used to be in Ferrari. Renault.
I mean, Ferrari and a good strategy is really the combination we see.
Good strategy around Singapore for Renault, Rigsy. Isn't that funny?
No, definitely. I mean, like, Renault have really benefited here with Buckley. I mean, Toxic Fusion's kept his place above Eki, and he's got himself closer to Urban Unicorn there as well. But Buckley is the real winner here as well, because he's not only he pitted a lap earlier, but he's gained 2 places, 3 places, 4 places rather. Sorry, because he was 6 and now he's net third. Another big one on that pit strategy there was Dominic as well, because he did pit. Like, all the leaders did pit at the same time, but Dominic has himself a wee buffer, a Churka, who's in P6 as well, so he's managed to gain some time as well. So he's managed to gain some time on the leading pack there as well. So Dominic is your net race leader on lap 12 of 31. He sits in P4 at the moment. As we're seeing more drivers coming into the pits. Jamham's just coming out there in P13 behind his brother of Hamjam. That'll be another wee battle to watch out for. The battle for P12.
Buckley, Buckley's getting closer
Buckley's
and closer.
He's going to have DRS.
Oh, he's going to go! He's going to go the inside. He's done it.
Oh, and he's and Churka's going to have the inside, which doesn't he maximise there. Buckley keeps the place around the outside, but Churka won't be too slow in trying to get the place back. I mean, it was quite
forced Churka off the circuit.
That was kind of what I was questioning there as well. I mean, it looks tight to Colway, like in live, but I mean, we'll all need to check some kind of replay in that as well to see if there was any kind of forceful action there by Buckley.
Well, he's on it though.
I mean,
he's really
definitely,
on it,
definitely, he's definitely finding his groove with a hard tyre. I think that hard tyre seems to suit his Renault car and Renault setup more than it does other, because I feel like he's really benefiting so far after the pit stops.
I'm a little bit confused here. Marley currently 10 seconds behind Cody. I don't really know why that is the case.
I don't know if maybe Marley's got himself caught up with any incidents, or he had a mistake, or some other kind of factor, but I mean, Marley is kind of finding himself a wee bit further back for his teammate Mick Stalio and F1 Cody, who are the last of the people who are still yet to pit and started on the hard tyre. So Marley has definitely lost out here, and he's going to lose out more now because he's going to have Dominic, Buckley, Churka and co behind him on fresh hards, and they are definitely lapping quicker than what Marley is on the hards. But I mean, we're also starting to see people picking up regular penalties. There's Mick Stalio picking up a 3-second time penalty there for multiple warnings. We've seen a couple of people picking up penalties for speeding in the pit lane. I mean, the pit lane speed limit is at 37 miles per hour, which is the same as the pit lanes in Albert Park and at Silverstone. But the Singapore pit lane is really tight as well. Like, it's a really small pit lane, and it is close garages and pit boxes and pit crews. So like, drivers and teams need to take extra consideration in terms of when they're actually bringing their team in, releasing their car through the pit box. And I feel like that's where Urban Unicorn has kind of lost out there as well, especially since the Mercedes garage is at the start of the pit lane. So that might explain why he's lost out so much, because he has lost 2 places, net 2 places to Buckley and Churka there as well. But I mean, the pit stops from Buckley down to Eki have definitely closed this pack up, and they're all within DRS range, so I do hope to see some more battles in between and them jostling for position in the next doing the quick math, the next 17 laps to the end. And we've seen Mercury picking up a penalty there for multiple warnings there as well.
Mercury's had a lot of penalties this race.
I mean,
that's interesting. Marley goes defensive. Marley's defending here from Dominic.
I don't really know how I feel about that. Again, I think Marley should maybe reconsider his approach to keeping Dominic, who is net
Well,
race
I'll tell you
behind.
something though, it's great for spectators, Rigsy, because this is going to really reel Buckley in here. Because Dominic is losing a lot of time, especially in these tight, twisty corners as well.
Is it?
Oh,
He's
Dominic gone off the circuit. Dominic's gone off the circuit. This is dangerous now. Forget about spectators. This is dangerous for Dominic. For 9/10 now, Buckley. This is crucial. This is absolutely crucial, Rigsy. This could decide the winner, you know. This could decide the race win.
This is definitely not what McLaren need at the moment here, like, and that's pushing Dominic back. And you can just see him pushing him running these slow corners here, and it's just going to be the same to the pit straight. And he's so close to hitting that inside wall there as well. But Dominic will be
and Marley won't even be pitting.
Red-faced.
Marley won't even be pitting because the hards go. Yeah, this could be destructive for Dominic's chances of victory here.
He needs to get up the inside of one here. He can't afford to, and he's no, and this is pushing.
Yeah,
this
he
is
can't
bringing
find
the
a way.
rest.
He doesn't want to.
Oh, this is bringing the rest of the. This is bringing the rest of the top runners into play here, and they're going to have DRS as well. Dominic needs to make the move stick. I mean,
Dominic's had a great corner there.
I mean, Mali, he is in a position where he is entitled to race. Like, he's not getting blue flagged. He is in P3 properly, but he's still to pit, and he's a different strategy. And they're going to go side by side.
And Mali's up the inside, and he's forced Dominic off the circuit. This is incredible for Paul Buckley, for Sig Buckley rather. This is incredible, Rigsy. Here we go then. Buckley to take the lead of the Singapore Grand Prix. You know what? I'm rooting for Buckley right now. I don't really care, Rigsy. This is absolutely incredible for him. He's had races since Germany. This is an incredible opportunity right here.
Mali is just a mobile chicane here at the minute, and it's definitely.
I'll tell you something, Rigsy. I think, right, Renault are thinking we want to sign Mali up right here.
He is Renault's third drive on the skies, but I mean that is what we're saying there. It has been really detrimental to Dominic's lead, and it really does open up the win for the top 6 drivers here. Like, I mean, like, in terms of like Dominic, Buckley, Churka, Urban Unicorn, Fusion, Eki, they can see a win now. Like, because that buffer that Dominic had, it's just been thrown out the window. Like, it's not there. Like, Dominic did have like a 1.5 second lead over Buckley, and that was enough to keep him out of the DRS window.
Molly's
and
still
Dominic's going to run the outside.
Molly's still defending. Dominic's had to take the escape road there, and Buckley's up the inside. Here we go. No, he's not. Yeah,
that was close there. Hard. That was close there between the McLaren and the Renault there as well. But Dominic, and I mean, Mali.
Opportunity now for Buckley actually, because Mali's going to go defensive again. Oh, that is dangerous. That is dangerous there from Mali.
Oh, and Dominic will be going running.
Dominic's going to have the line though. Dominic's going to have the line.
Is he trying his luck running outside of 6 or 7?
Oh, there's been a collision. No, there hasn't. That was a bit of lag on my screen, I think. Oh my god, it's too wide there. Got the Urban Unicorn.
And it's not just the battle between Dominic and Buckley I'm focused on. It's the battle between Churka, Unicorn, Toxic, and Eki. I've seen them going side by side on the exit there before.
I've seen that as well. I thought you were talking about maybe there was a collision or something, but absolutely.
The former. I mean, definitely. Bringing in Mali. Mali is the spice of race life here. He is
definitely. Oh, Buckley's up the inside. Whoa. This is incredible. Buckley ran the outside. Oh, he could have done that then. He could have done that. He could have done that here in Singapore, Rigsy.
Oh,
Rigsy's not. I don't think Buckley has had a victory in STB, you know.
Buckley is, if there's one thing that I've identified for this race so far, is Buckley is the most, he's picked up a 3-second time penalty that will be added to his final finish time here in Singapore. But Buckley, as I was saying now, Buckley is the only driver that I'm seeing that is actually actively making moves on the track and is more confident on his braking than the other drivers as well. So Buckley is full of confidence. So he must have some kind of set-up edge or advantage in comparison to his rivals, because he does feel a lot better in his car.
He is going to send a lengthy message to Mali after this race right now. I can just sense it.
And Dominic swipes.
Oh, Buckley's gone up the inside. Oh, now Buckley's going to get blocked. But Mali's up the inside. Oh.
On his cars, he's hit the wall. Nah, Mali's hit the wall there on the outside. Turn 7.
Buckley's chances have disappeared. Oh no!
I've absolutely no idea what's happened here, Maldi. The first thing I saw was Mali hitting the wall there on the exit of 7, and he's at the back of the field now. Buckley's lost a place to Chucker, which I never really got a clear view of. Urban Unicorn, Toxic Eke, all still there in the and Gravy's joined in as well. So Red Bull's line and stern 8 and 9, and Hamjam will not be too slow in getting involved in this as well, because he's not that far back either. So no, this race has really just kind of came into its own in the last few laps. Like, I mean, like, it was close at the start, but it's definitely just kind of kicked into life now in lap 18 of 31.
Yeah, I mean, Marley did the absolute most right there to try it.
I know, definitely. I mean, like, Mali, like, he is in a position where he's entitled to race, but at the same time, like, he's not getting blue flags, so he hasn't got any obligation to move out the way, so he is perfectly entitled to race. But at the same time, when it's no your fight, you kind of like should know that, in a sense.
Yeah.
Like, drivers should have that instinct that they know this is their fight, they're just going to hold this pack up. But Mali's just like, nah, no having it. He's just going to hold the Dominic up, and it's definitely just kind of kicked this race into life, and it's definitely opened up the battle for the win that much that I feel anybody between second down to 8th, sorry, can win, because they're all within a few tenths of each other, and it is just a big massive line of cars running around the Singapore circuit at the same speed at the same time. But no, I mean, depending on the spectators' take on Mali's position and approach to defending Dominic, I mean, like, he is entitled to race, but I mean, people, like, drivers should know when their race is run, or what fight they're in, and who they're actually trying to kind of beat in the race. Like, I don't think Mali was in any position to actually beat Dominic and Churka.
Yeah, Marley just didn't really have the pace, did he? So he just tried to try and keep the position as much as possible. But he did get a bit of their time there, so that's good that's very good for the sponsors of racing.
Definitely. Racing Point will be chuffed with that, and got a lot of screen time there, and they got a lot of Hertz racing, they got a lot of folk off their seats, Maldi. So Racing Point, they'll get applauds for that, but at the same time, I don't think McLaren will be too long in sending some representatives, and Dominic might not even be too long in charging down to the Racing Point's garage to give a stern word there to Mali. I mean, we've seen it in real life in the past. I mean, Schumacher done the same in Spa all the years ago when DC took him out.
21 years ago. That's mad.
It's crazy how time flies. I mean, I was only 2-year-old at the time. I mean, I never watched it live or nothing, but I mean, when you look back on it through highlights and classic races, I mean, like, that is one incident that always kind of appears in my mind when I'm talking about drivers being angry and temperamental.
I think about 2009 Brazil.
Jarno Trulli and Adrian Sutil. Is that the one?
Yeah, that was
the one I'm thinking of.
That was the first season I watched Formula One, and that was just absolutely insane. I'll remember, I was like, oh god, what's happening? I was about 8 at the time, 7, 8. So I didn't really know what was going on, but I just found it funny, I remember.
I definitely remember them talking about it, because the FIA and FOM got them into the press conference for the final race at Abu Dhabi, and they were sitting bickering about that day, and you had Raikkonen and Alonso in the front row. I mean, like, the two champions at the time, well, Hamilton was a champion there as well, it was on the grid, but he was there in this conference. But you're just seeing them
Dominic,
two.
Had a poor final corner.
And Churka's going to look on the outside. You gotta go side by side. Go on side by side. Churka's going to try and make the move from the outside, and he makes it stick.
Has Dominic lagged out?
No, I've not seen his name coming up. He just looks really... He just rocks really off the pace at the minute. I mean...
God.
I have eyes away. He's got an X above his name when you change the camera view on Urban Unicorn and Toxic Fusion. So Dominic has lagged out. If we can try and maybe get him quickly back in the event.
No, he's in first. It says.
Wait, what? It says Dominic's 7th for mine, and he's just... gone so slow. Dominic's just gone
First,
backwards in
isn't
my
that
mind.
right?
Oh, he's back in the first now. We're having a few
Yeah, it's lagging, I
technical
think.
difficulties
He
here,
had
to
a
say
bit
the
of
least.
connection issues there. Of course, he's been known for his connection issues with the drivers this season.
I mean, if that was no technical difficulty, and Dominic did actually lag out, which he just does
Dominic,
there.
yeah, Dominic has like
Dominic literally does not have any luck in this league. He literally has no luck in this season. Like, there is times
Yeah,
where
look.
Dominic and McLaren have drove their hearts out in the cruelty of the connection robs them of the points that they could be picking up. The championship is slipping away. I've invited him back in here as well, but he is still in third. I mean, he is still in this fight, but his AI is going to be slow in comparison to the drivers around him, so he will be losing out the longer he takes to get back in, as we're seeing Gravity picking up a 3-second time penalty there. And Gravity is in front of Eke. Eke's down to 6. We've never seen that one, but Gravity's up into P5. Dominic's in P4, which will soon be P4 for Gravity, because Dominic's AI isn't gone significantly. It's not even hitting 8th gear down the straight into turn 6. So we have no idea what's happening there. But Dominic's AI is just sliding down the order. Hamjam will be the next person to approach Dominic's AI. Shortcut is the leader of this race on lap 21 of 31. We are 11 laps away from the checkered flag, if you're counting this lap as well, spectators. Buckley is up into P2, and then
what
there's
happened to
a
Urban
small...
Oh yeah, you lost an endplate, didn't you? I was going to ask what happened to Urban Unicorn, but he lost an endplate.
Aye. And Urban Unicorn's found himself behind his teammate, 18 seconds behind his teammate in P11. So, as we were saying, in the early stages of this race, it was Urban Unicorn and Dominic that were leading the pack and pulling away from the pack at Churka and Ford. Now it's Churka and Buckley who are the leading two, and they're pulling away from Toxic Fusion. And we're getting that 2010 Singapore GP reference again, simply because it's unfolding right in front of us here as well on lap 22 of 31. I mean, I don't really. I mean, what do you do if you're Dominic? Like, you just don't have any luck. Like, he's drove phenomenally, and he might not even get the reward for it because he's just sliding down. And he's in P8 now. Like, where does he go for here? What does McLaren do for here? Maudi?
Yeah.
I was just wondering if you're still there, to be fair, because it just went quiet. But no, Dominic's...
I have no idea. Dominic, really unlucky. But as DJ Danny has retired from the Singapore Grand Prix, what has happened there?
McLaren's races just went even further.
Damage?
I will wonder where he's went off. I can't really see all that much the new. But Churka is still your race leader ahead of Buckley.
It was terminal damage there for DJ Danny. Is Dominic still
terminal?
in?
No, he's not in yet. Well, he's up into P7 now. He was up into P, and he's still his AI. It's still his AI driving.
Eke's in P11. What's happened to him? He's lost an end plate. Eke's lost an end plate.
So Eke's in the pits as well. Oh no, he's not in the pits. He has gone really slow. He's lost his full left side of the front wing besides the board. That is going to be a terrible car to be driving, especially around Singapore. So that's calamity there for Eke.
That's actually disastrous for Dominic, because if Dominic was in the lobby still, and able to join and stuff, he could still get some good points over Echo.
Oh, definitely. I mean, like, just talk about kicking a man when he's done. Like, knowing that your rivals, your main rivals, Urban Unicorn and Eke, have just run into trouble in the outside of the points, and you were leading. You had a lead in this race, and the connection just kicks you. It's really devastating. Like, I mean, like the boy can't buy luck. Like, he really can't. Like, I don't really know what he needs to do. Like, I would obviously chuck the obvious answer in there and say get a better connection, but it's not as easy as that. Like, I'm just hoping he gets himself back out of the race so he can at least solidify his points if he finishes in a points paying position, because if he comes back in and at least keeps P7, that's still 6 points. And if you can get the fastest lap along the way, that is 7. Like, but we don't have any sign of him coming back just yet. We do hope to see his return on the bottom of your screens anytime soon, because we think Dominic, he is one of the quickest and best drivers in this league, doesn't he do? Like, he has shown that he can win races, and he has shown that he can race at the top, but to just constantly get kicked and battered by his connection, it really is just, I don't really know, it's just really sad. Like, you kind of feel for him almost. But we do hope for his return this time out, as we're seeing.
Fusion could potentially win the Singapore Grand Prix, Rick said.
He's
looking at penalties, he could win.
Penalties will be a big factor here as well. That'll definitely, especially if the pack is really close at the end, that's going to have a big part to play in terms of the final standings here in Singapore. So I'm assuming with that information, Maldi, Churka and Buckley have enough penalties to put them behind Toxic Fusion in terms of the final classification.
I don't want to jinx it, Rixie, but has there actually been any on-track collisions, which has meant drivers have actually had like a lot of damage, apart from Marley, which was, his fault?
I mean, see, to be honest, I mean, if there has, I've not caught any glimpses of it. The TV footage hasn't caught any glimpses of it. I mean, we have seen people with damaged end plates and external damage to their cars, but we've not seen how they've got that damage. That remains a bit of a mystery to us. So it will just be a matter of we'll find out what actually happens through driver briefings and post-race interviews, because there'll be a bit more clarification on these incidents that we didn't see. But no, I mean, I've not really seen how the drivers have picked up the damage.
Well, next day though, here we go. We got some action from the Racer Point. Racer Point has been doing absolutely most this evening.
The Racing Point will be more than pleased with the amount of race coverage they're getting this race. The amount of coverage they've got is, I mean, it's been the main focus for this race, because you've had Mali, who was closing the leading pack together by staying out and no letting Dominic by and defending with all that he's got. And then you've got Mick Stallo, who's up into P4 for the Racing Point and closing in on a podium, which could play into a win regarding penalties. So all is not lost here for the Racing Point. All is not lost for Toxic Fusion. Not all is lost for Gravity. It's still anybody's to win at this point. And I'm more than excited to see how this unfolds. I really am.
I'm sad to say, but I don't think Dominic is going to be joining back this evening. It's really sad.
If there's connection issues, I mean, there's not really much Dominic can really do at this point. I mean, look, the fact that the connection issue is what robs him of points time and again, race after race, it really must just hit him on a personal level. I mean, like, he must have confidence in determination if he's just going to race for X amount of laps and not make it to the end due to a connection issue. It kind of like, I wouldn't be too surprised, Maldy, if that actually does kind of destroy his appetite for racing in the STB league. I mean, as much as Dominic is a quick racer and he is capable of race wins, as we've seen in, I mean, like the last time I can remember him winning a race was in Canada. No, was it Canada? I think he won in Canada after that hectic finale there due to penalties. But I mean, he is a championship contender, and the connection is just going to really kill his determination and his and the effort that he puts in. I mean, I really do hope that he gets his connection issues sorted soon enough anyway. But I would like to see him back in Russia next week, Monday the 2nd of December, 7 o'clock Monday.
My birthday week.
We'll be in Sochi, Russia, was it?
Yeah, we'll be in Rassi.
Maldy's giving you the full name. You can join us next week, Monday, 7 o'clock, the 2nd of December, and we will be in the Sochi Autodrome, or as Maldy will like to say in Russian,
Sochi Autodrome.
And we will be there Monday for another exciting race in the STB League. So be sure to join us for that, as I will guarantee there will be more of this action, more wheel to wheel, more battles,
Definitely.
better racing. Why would you not be here?
It will be an Adlichna race, an excellent race, a great race. Adlichna.
Maldy's got his
getting the Russian ready.
He's got his Russian hat on. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll be looking forward to that next week. But we are on lap 27 of 31 here at the Marina Bay. I mean, there's a fair question. See how Monza is the final race of the European season, and then we go to Singapore. But we come back to Russia, where Sochi is actually in Europe. Why does it end at Monza?
I thought Sochi was in Asia.
I mean, let me check that.
I thought Sochi was in Asia.
Let me check. I'm
Asia
sure
part of
Sochi's.
Russia.
I'm sure Sochi's in the European side. Russia. Give me 2 seconds. I'm sure it's in Europe. I mean, I could be entirely wrong here. Like, I mean, I've always thought at a glance that it was in Europe. But I shall have a quick check. It says. All right, wait. They apologise. I mean, like, there could be a lot of on-track action going on here, especially with battle for the final podium place, which could end up being the race win and given penalties. But I mean, we're trying to find out if Sochi's in Europe or in Asia. Then
well, Max Taylor putting in fourth is behind Fusion, but he's not really catching that much. He's losing in the second sector, the first sector. Sorry.
Sochi is contested between Europe and Asia, so it doesn't really matter either way you look at it, because it is on the border, or somewhere near the border, so I'm just going to go with that.
I'm just going to go with Asia. I'm going to go with Asia, because that's what I've always thought. So.
Aye, and I'll stick to Europe, because that's what I've always believed in. But I mean, we can agree to disagree on that particular fact there as well. But I mean, Churka is heading for the checkered flag here if he just keeps it on track for the final 4 laps. Not to throw the commentators' calls out there willy-nilly, but I mean, he has been increasing the gap to Buckley.
A very long race. This has actually been more than an hour long.
I mean, we are currently sitting here at 8:30 UK standard time, so I would like to. I mean, if you're doing it through that, I mean, the Marina Bay race would be like. I'm trying to think. Is it not like 9 hours ahead? 9, 10? Let me get back onto the Google.
At the end. I think it starts at 10 at night, or like hot 9, 10 at night.
It starts at 10 at night, and it starts at 1 in the UK, so if we're going to just do that, what 9? So add 9 onto half 8, it's 7. So it'd be like 5 in the morning. So I mean, if this race was the way it was in real life, then there'll be a lot of angry residents here in the Marina Bay complaining the 17 rupturous, monstrous motor engines running about at 5:30 in the morning. But I mean,
it would be quite nice.
That would just be
with the sky and stuff.
I mean, not definitely. I mean, like that would be one of the more random statistics out there. I mean, it's just kind of. I mean, there's not really much going on. Well, there's a battle there between. I mean, there's a wee. While we're here sitting, debating the facts about Sochi and the Marina Bay at 5:30 in the morning, there has been a wee battle beginning to form, in the form of Mercury, Jamham, and Alparbao, in the battle for P8, as well as the battle for P3 between Toxic Fusion and Mixed Stallion, still going at it at the brim. So what we're believing to be a final run to the checkered flag might not be the case for some drivers, especially with the wee battle between Mercury, Jam, and Alparbao. I'm just going to see how far. Well, Alparbao was on soft tyres, and he's in P10. And Jamham's just picked up a 3-second time penalty there for cutting the corner there. But Alparbao's all over the back of the Mercedes, who's starting to kind of have a wee gap between the Mercedes, and Jamham's just cutting corners at any chance he gets here, just riding on board. But Alparbao is definitely looking feisty here, and he will have DRS on the run into turn 1. But he isn't really closing. That's mainly because Jamham's got the DRS on Mercury as well. But no, not too much in terms of that there. The battle for P8 will probably go as we see the yellow flags out and quickly back in again in the second sector. Shurka's lead is went from 4.5 down to 3.7, so Buckley is slowly gaining. Toxic Fusion is 1.1 behind his teammate in the final podium place, and he's got Mixed Stallion for P4.
Alparbao, Jamham and Mercury here.
This battle's really starting to heat up again, and the Mercedes is going to try and go side by side into the former Singapore sling, and he doesn't get alongside. He has to tuck back in through the tight sequence of corners here over the Anderson Bridge, which we'll just see momentarily. There it is there, and you'll have the Anderson Hotel there onto the right, which you'll no see. But Alparbao, or is it the Anderson, or is it the Fulton? I mean, it's one of the two. But I mean, Alparbao right on the gearbox of the Mercedes. Is he going to go up the inside? He's going to go up the inside, trying to outbrake the Mercedes, side by side, and Jamham. And Eki's retired. Eki's retired for this race, Maori. He's out of this race on lap 31 of 31. I mean, I'm wondering what's happened there, but Eki will be a non-scorer here at the Marina Bay, which will push Urban Unicorn up into P7. But no, we are on the final lap of this race. Churka is your race leader in the Toro Rosso and is looking to get... This would be his first win, isn't it? He hasn't won anywhere else.
I don't think so. I think it's been close. I'm not sure.
Shows you how much...
You wouldn't be able to give us an interview. Because
shows you...
I don't think he has a mic. He doesn't have a mic, or he can't speak English very well.
It shows you how much we get. It shows you how much we keep on. If you're sitting here questioning if this is his first win, I know, but I mean, he's still got the third sector to contend with, and he will hopefully keep the car on track. Mercury will have crucially lost an end plate, which is crucial in the battle for P8. And you can just see him going slow here, but we'll ride on board with Churka, who's just got the final sequence of corners here. We see yellow flags in the first sector. We'll get back to that momentarily, and before we do, they're quickly away again in the back. I mean, the yellow flags are making random
here we go. You ready for the fireworks? Are you ready for the fireworks here in Singapore, Rigsy? Jacob comes around the final corner to win the Singapore Grand Prix. Look at the fireworks. Absolutely beautiful scenes here in Singapore. Buckley will finish in P2, but he'll get jumped by Fusion. Buckley will then finish in P3. Gravity is in P4, his best result of the season. And Hamjam will finish on the podium, Rigsy, in Singapore.
That is a brilliant result there for the Alfa Romeo driver and Hamjam there as well. He did join us in qualifying for the interview. We wished him luck on the race, and it's paid off. I'll take full credit for that, Yamaldi. He's got a podium. Alfa Romeo take 15 points home, back to their base in Switzerland. I think that's where they are. But the penalties being applied, Hamjam benefits. But Churka 76 from Hungary and the Toro Rosso is the race winner, a first-time winner here in the STB Racing League, and there's probably no many other better places you can actually go to on the calendar to pick that up. I mean, a win at Singapore is definitely something you can hold your chin highway, hold your head up highway there. I mean, full applauds there for Churka as he takes the top step there. You'll see the Hungarian flag there above him there on the podium, surrounded by Toxic Fusion and Hamjam, who are the other podium sitters, and the champagne is being sprayed in the classic Formula 1 theme tune. Well, theme tune, I mean, the tune it's probably most known for is being played here under the lights of Singapore, and the fireworks are still continuing to light up the night sky here in the Marina Bay. So there you have it, 31 laps of Singapore at the Marina Bay circuit. Churka is the race winner here, and despite a 3-second time penalty, he does take the checkered flag here in Singapore. Toxic Fusion in second place in the Renault. Hamjam didn't pick up any penalties there, so he's managed to get himself up into P3. Buckley, who was Owen and challenging Dominic for the race win early on in the midway point in the race.
Sorry, Rigsy, to interrupt you. We're going to be interviewing Fusion and Hamjam tonight, but I've got to quickly go and do something. So take us through the rest of the results, and you can conduct the questions for the second and third places.
Oh, no worries, Maldi. I'll go through the list there. We've got Hamjam there to round out the podium places there. Buckley, who was looking feisty there in the midway point there. In P4, Gravity's had a great race from P9 up to P5. Mixed Stalios is the same, P11 to P6. Big gains there for the Racing Point. Urban Unicorn, not really the race he would have wanted there. Did lead in the first stint, but ended up finishing P7. Alperbal there in 8th, Jamham in 9th, and Dominic, after disconnecting at the midway point in the session, disconnected and ends up finishing in P10. I'm not sure how the rule really applies, but I would think that you would need to be in your car to get the points, and Dominic he wasn't able to get back in and rejoin the session. So we'll just pass out our congratulations to Churka there on his first win in the STB League, and I'm joined by Toxic Fusion and Hamjam. Hamjam is the end of the party. I didn't see his name coming up. No, he's not. Toxic Fusion's definitely.
Yeah.
Toxic Fusion's definitely here joining me. So we'll get Hamjam in a moment. So first I will just pass our congratulations on to yourself and Hamjam there, who's chosen to join us there at the minute. Maldi's admittedly just going to chuck me in the deep end, so I'm here conducting your interviews. If I had any questions, it would help.
Give me 1 second, Scott. Change my batteries.
No, that's fine.
Oh yeah, I'll just apologise. I forgot to click the include audio thing for the quality interview. That's my bad. I didn't realise.
Yikes! Oh, Maldi's
So-
livid.
So just for that, just to clarify that for the spectators. So if you just hear me and Maldi asking questions and not getting any response, there's your answer. If I go to connect his mic up to his up in the commentary booth there. But anyway, we will congratulate you both on a phenomenal race. I mean, it was highly entertaining at best. There was a lot of action up in the field. There was actually, for Singapore and for the nature of the track, it was, one of the better races to watch. around Singapore anyway. Like, because Singapore doesn't really promote like wheel-to-wheel racing as such. It's more strategic, as we were discussing in the qualifying.
Slipstream thing, really.
I kind of look like that for most of the laps. To be fair, like there was big queues for most of the race, especially between the top six. Which you were paid to yourself, Toxic Fusion. So I'm assuming there was a lot of close quarters with that one at times, because you had to deal with your teammate in front of you, and then you got Bayeki as well. No.
Yeah.
You got Bayeki. Buckley stuck behind and he undercut. So I'm assuming the hurt was racing, especially when you're at Singapore when the walls are so close to the track and you're sitting here in a 6-man battle for the lead.
It was.
So can you just?
Yeah,
So
it was.
you,
I shouldn't have. I didn't mean to swear, but yeah, it wasn't the most enjoyable race because I was just stuck behind people, just going lean, none, then rich, hot lap. Just so I had to stay close to them. But yeah, I got the overtake on Eke, and I thought my race was looking up, and then there was that massive train. Then I got, I think, 2 warnings on lap 7, and then somehow didn't get one for the rest of the race. So I have no idea how I did that. Then yeah, I got kind of lucky with what's his name, Dominic, lagging out, and then Urban sort of crashing into the wall, losing it, because I saw he did it once. I'm not sure if he had like wing damage or anything. Then I saw him, he fully clattered the wall, and I saw like half his wing just fly off into my car. So yeah, after that it was just following Buckley, and I had the Force India behind me, or the Racing Point, and yeah, I just had to kind of drive a bit more flat out to keep him behind. But I knew he had penalties, so yeah.
No, so the strategy at Renault was Buckley pitting from P6 at the time, because he was at the end of the train, was he not? Because you were in front of Yeki and your teammate Buckley was behind at the time, from my understanding. In the first stint.
Yeah.
So
I think
was
P6,
it a
wasn't
team?
I was P4.
So was it a team call, or driver call, to have him pitting first instead of yourself?
I mean,
because I would have thought
originally,
that you would have pitted.
Yeah. I originally was going to pit on 10 regardless, so I kind of left it up to him whether to pit on lap 11, because if we both pit on lap 10 we would have both got held up, or he would have got held up behind me. So it turns out the undercut works for him quite well, so fair play.
Definitely. I mean, like I would have maybe, I would have thought that the first driver, well, the leading driver would have got the choice, but I mean, if you had a set strategy, then I suppose that kind of answers that question.
Yeah.
But anyway, so like Russia next. How are we feeling about that? Next week.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I'm probably going to get about 47 penalties. So.
Well, you're one of the few drivers to pick up 0 penalties here in Singapore, and it's definitely worked out. I mean, 'cause it means you get to keep your second place there as well. So, but
Right,
no, I mean, I
so
really don't really know what else to.
From Fusion.
Maldi just appeared out of anywhere.
Yeah.
Thank you, Riggsy, for that. Have you interviewed both people?
No, I've still got Hamjam today. I was just talking to Toxic
I'll,
Fusion about his race strategy and his feeling towards the next race.
We're running short on time, so Hamjams, give you a quick interview. Welcome back. Yeah, briefly, how was your race, and how are you feeling about the podium here this evening?
Yeah, I mean, I was obviously really pleased. Quali was good. My lap towards the end got a little bit impeded, but I mean, I was content with my position on the grid. Then I lost a place at the start, sort of just got boxed out on the inside. I just stuck behind people, just kind of stuck with it. Got the undercut on Jam on lap 9. Then I was pretty pleased to like sort of catch back up, and then obviously I caught up nearly to that to the big train, and I was obviously helped by a few drivers dropping out. But I mean, stay consistent, didn't get a penalty, and that's ultimately kind of what what got me on the podium. But I mean, you gotta be consistent to not get the penalty. So I'm not going to take anything away from myself pace wise, but yeah, I was pretty pleased again, obviously.
Great race there for Hamja. So the longest race of the season is now over. Thank you to those of you, who have finished on the podium. Well done. Well done to the people that have competed here this evening for the Singapore Grand Prix. Thank you, Rigsy, for joining me in the commentary box. It's been an absolute pleasure to be with you. But that is the end of Singapore, and we go to the Russian Grand Prix, the Grand Prix Russie, where we go to the Sochi Autodrome in Russia. And it is a circuit that I am very, very in love with. That was really bad grammar, but I really do love the circuit. Not a lot of drivers do like the circuit, but I am one that really does like it. So,
We get the point.
we will see you next week for the Russian Grand Prix. Увидимся позже. We'll see you then. See you next week in Russia.